from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring honest pop news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
A very good evening to you and welcome to ATN Global News. Let's take a look at the headlines. NSCDC arrests 7 oil vandals, floods ravage Bayelsa communities. Federal government's bond attracts $900 million subscription. Oil production rises to 1.35 Mbpd. Iran, Mexico calls for Gaza truce. Taylor Swift endorses Kamala Harris. Bayelsa United appoints Nwankwe as chairman. And now on the rest of our stories. Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps has announced the arrest of 7 suspects involved in an illegal dealings with petroleum products in Woji on the outskirts of Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The corps also reported that a barge and 3 boats laden with automotive gas oil, commonly known as diesel, were seized. Additionally, a senior official from the company associated with the seized barge has been summoned for questioning. The state NSCDC Commandant Joachim Okafor disclosed this while presenting the suspects to the press at a crime scene in Port Harcourt on Wednesday. Okafor stated that the Corps is operating with renewed vigor and is determined to combat economic sabotage. including crude oil theft through pipeline vandalism, illegal bunkering sites, and the conveyance of illegal refined products. The commandant explained that 2 of the suspects were arrested along with a barge containing a substantial amount of illegally refined automotive gas oil. According to him, the suspects were caught transferring the product from the barge into cellophane bags for further transport to an undisclosed location. The state NSCDC boss concluded by stating that a thorough investigation would be conducted to identify those behind the illicit activities and that the suspects would face prosecution. Nigerian Copyright Commission has apprehended 3 bookshops owners in Rivers State over alleged involvement in book piracy. Mr. Abdul Babatunde, the director NCC Port Harcourt's directorate, disclosed these on Wednesday, shortly after an anti-piracy operation within the Port Harcourt metropolis. Babatunde stated that the commission confiscated suspected pirate books worth 3 million naira during operation. He said that the suspects were currently undergoing investigation and will be prosecuted after facts about their involvement in the act has been established. The NCC official said it was part of the commission's mandate to protect and promote the rights of authors and other investors in the copyright ecosystem. According to him, the commission also ensures that authors and artists get the rewards of their hard work. He said the commission is committed to seeing that the activities of pirates in Rivers and Bayelsa are reduced to the barest minimum. Babatunde said that the NCC Director General, Dr. John Asen, had zero tolerance for piracy and violation of the copyright laws. He warned booksellers, printers, and importers against stealing people's intellectual property. The director also urged members of the public not to patronize pirates, saying doing so is a criminal offense. Analysts have described the alleged summons rumors of the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike as a mere political clout. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Open Conversation, a socio-political analyst Ugochukwu Ifeanyi stated that the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike is a newsmaker as such, is likely to make media headline amidst the current political trend.
Political jobbers and roadside journalists and those who are hungry analysts, they always draw Wike's name to gain attention onto themselves. So without mentioning Wike, nobody will read their comments. Nobody will even know they exist.
Meanwhile, Mr. Ifeanyi blamed the pedal on media tricks at May.
Just as I'm seated here, if I want to make the headlines now, let me drag Wike. The next time I'm trending. So, those who are giving this information and trying to, smear the hard-earned name of Mr. FCT Minister are doing that.
This is coming as Senator Olaka Nwogu, a member of the People's Democratic Party Disciplinary Committee, have refuted claims that the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike was summoned by the party regarding anti-party activity. Several neighborhoods in Yanagwa, the Bayelsa state capital, were submerged as heavy rains persisted from Tuesday to Wednesday. Areas such as Cemetery, Azikoro, Ekeki, Okaka, Swali, Bansia, Amarata, and Ovom were severely affected by flash floods, leaving residents deeply concerned. The rains also contributed to the rising water levels in the adjoining Epi Creek and River Nan, indicating that this year's flooding could be particularly damaging. The federal government has issued warnings about the dangers posed by rising water levels in some states. In Bayelsa, a flood-prone state located 6 feet below sea level, the situation is particularly dire. In neighborhoods like Amarata and Ekeki, residents have resorted to using buckets and basins to prevent water from entering their homes, with some reporting property damage. Governor Dwoye Diri had previously assured that his government was conducting studies for a comprehensive drainage plan for the state capital, but this has yet to be implemented. Environmentalist Alagoa Morris recounted his experience on Wednesday, stating that his home and offices were flooded and his family is considering relocating due to the ongoing situation. Morris called for the implementation of an effective drainage system in Yanagua. National Emergency Management Agency has handed over 24,180 bags of 50-kilogram maize and 5,828 bags of 25 kg gari to Akwa Ibom State government for onward distribution to vulnerable persons in the state. The Director General of NEMA, Mrs. Zubaida Umar, disclosed these during the handing over of the food items to the state government in Uyo on Wednesday. Umar, who was represented by Akwa Ibom Head of Operations, Mrs. Mandu Aisweni, said the exercise was in fulfillment of President Bola Tinubu's promise to reduce the impact of current economic hardship in the country. She said that the commodities should be shared in the communities through constituted committees in each local government. She also directed that membership of the committee in each local government area should be made up of the chairman of the council, State Emergency Management Agency, and a traditional ruler, among others. The Director General explained that 20% of the food items due for each local government area should be given to religious organizations and 3% to be given to boarding schools in the local government areas, stressing that each local government area should receive equal items. The State Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Ofiong Ofo, who received the items on behalf of the government, thanked Tinubu for his interventions. Ofo added that the intervention would mitigate the impact of the high cost of food items in the country. Analysts have expressed uncertainty following the Akwa Ibom State government's gesture on the planned sharing of 310 million naira among youths in the state. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Atlantic Blowout, a political analyst, Alfredo El Nino, maintained that the gesture is politically inclined as well as not sustainable to cushion the looming hardship in the state.
The end hunger protest, you will see it even on the faces of the youth that they are actually hungry. Now, they say a hungry man is an angry man. Now, whom are these youth that have made up, whom are made up of these local government areas that we culminate into sharing 310 million naira? Looking at it, the average Nigerian youth is hungry, and that was the reason why we came out to demonstrate. To this effect,
Elucidating further, Mr. El Nino advocated for a better approach of engaging the youths in Akwa Ibom State.
A government will say, we are giving you this to stop this. At the end of the day, that system will still pervade. The system will still pervade because how much or what form will the empowerment take? Are they going to buy them vehicles? Are they going to buy them sewing machines? Or are they going to share the money and say, go and establish yourself? If it's not going, even at that self, look at the rate, the naira rate. Nigeria have been dollarized. So if you share this money,
this is coming as the Akwa Ibom State government announced cash award to the tune of 310 million naira for the leadership of Akwa Ibom youths across the 31 local government areas of the state for boycotting the recent nationwide and bad governance protests. Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Akwa Ibom State Command, has charged its officers to strive towards improved performance for quality service delivery. The state commandant, Mr. Eluyemi Eluwade, gave the charge during the third edition of the Commandant's Quarterly Conference in Ikorekbene on Wednesday. Eluwade explained that the conference was held to evaluate performance and security threats in the state and proffer solutions. Eluwade said that participants at the conference will be divided into syndicates and given tasks to brainstorm on and proffer implementable solutions, adding that each syndicate will be headed by a deputy commandant to discuss increasing rate of kidnapping and robbery, inadequate logistics as a cause of operational inefficiency and indiscipline, among other topics. Eluwade noted that the syndicates will brainstorm on causes, challenges, effects, and workable solutions. Resolutions reached from the brainstorming sessions will be forwarded to higher authorities and the state government, who facilitates their seamless implementation, in his remarks. The chairman on the occasion, who is also the chairman of Ikorekpene local government area, Mr. John Clayton, commended NSCDC for contributing to ensuring peace and adequate security in the state. He applauded the efforts of the commandant towards positioning NSCDC as an elite security agency. Court of Appeal in Abuja has dismissed a suit seeking to disqualify former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Olumide Anthony Akpata, as the gubernatorial candidate of the Labour Party in the September 21 election. The appellate court held that the suit instituted by an aggrieved governorship aspirant, Kenneth Imasuagbon, lacked cogent and verifiable evidence in the allegations against Akpata. In the lead judgments delivered by Justice Okon Abang, the Court of Appeal held, among others, that Imasuagbon failed to explore the inter-conflict resolution mechanism of the Labour Party before rushing to court. Justice Abang said the claim of Imasuagbon that he was not given official results by the Labour Party cannot hold water because he had his agent at a primary election. The appeal court therefore upheld the judgment of the Federal High Court in Benin, delivered by Justice Babatunde Quadri, which had earlier dismissed Imasuagbon's suit for want of merit. Imasuagbon had in the suit prayed that Akpata be disqualified as Labour Party gubernatorial candidate on the allegations that he was not qualified to have participated in the poll. He asked for an order from the court to compel the Labour Party to withdraw the candidacy of Akpata and submit his own name as the right candidate, having come second in the primary election. Transition Monitoring Group has raised concerns over the upcoming off-cycle governorship election in Edo State, scheduled for September 21, 2024. While briefing newsmen in Abuja, TMG Chairman Awal Ibrahim Musa outlined several issues that may destroy the credibility and safety of the electoral process, condemning the process of party primaries, which he said was by selections and not elections. TMG Group called on all stakeholders, such as the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, security agencies, political parties, and citizens to work together to ensure a peaceful, credible, and transparent election in Edo State. Police Command in Edo has assured the public of adequate security measures towards a successful governorship election that is coming up on September 21 in the state. The Commissioner of Police, Nemi Iwo, stated this on Wednesday via a statement issued by the Command's Public Relations Officer, SP Moses Yamu. The Commissioner said the Command has been working tirelessly to ensure a peaceful atmosphere and had engaged sister security agencies, civil society organizations, youth groups, and political stakeholders. The police chief, however, appealed to political parties and their supporters to shun violence, as the command had commenced a mop-up of arms from non-state actors across the state. According to him, this is to ensure citizens exercise their franchise without fear or threat of intimidation. He said the command remained resolute to curtailing crime and protection of lives and property of all the good people of the state. Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun has ordered the arrest of a spy policeman in a viral video who asked the Edo selectorates to vote against the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Asue Igodalo, in the forthcoming gubernatorial election. In a viral video clip cited by newsmen, the man in spy police uniform was saying that the incumbent governor, Godwin Obaseki, and the PDP candidates have committed crimes against the people of the state. He urged eligible voters to see the election as an opportunity to fight back, stressing that the governor and his anointed candidates betrayed democracy in the state. But the Nigerian police, in a statement on Wednesday, condemned the comment. The force spokesman Olumuyiwa Adejobi, in a statement, clarified that the individual is not a regular officer of the Nigerian police force, but a supernumerary spy police officer who was trained by the Nigerian police for specific security functions, primarily within their place of employment. The statement added that the individual involved has been arrested for further investigation. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has visited stores in 4 local government areas of Edo State to inspect non-sensitive materials meant for a smooth, free, fair and credible off-cycle governorship election bill for Saturday, September 21, 2024. The chairman's first point of call for the 3-day assessment visit to Edo State was at INEC office at Ikpoba, Oka, local government area, where he embarked on the tour of the store by the Commission State Electoral Officer, Mr. James Gamble, who also answered questions posed by the chairman on the preparedness of the local branch for the upcoming governorship election.
So,
Professor Mahmood Yakubu.
We must revitalize our integrity as voters, because in the past, Nigerians were electing leaders based on conviction, based on the party manifesto, based on the track record. Transition Monitoring Group, TMG, is not only interested in observing election, but also interested in seeing how elections translate to good governance. Hence, we have been monitoring the pre-election situation in Edo State. This press conference is coming up the back of the very disturbing and worrisome occurrences in Edo State, as noted from the TMG pre-election environment situation observation ahead of the September 2024 election. These occurrences did not only portend danger for the election, but also leaves a big question mark on the ability of political parties in Nigeria to conduct its affairs democratically, responsibly. The Transition Monitoring Group finds it necessary to call on the attention of the public and the government, especially the critical stakeholders, on some of the issues and call for concerted effort to address these obvious challenges ahead of the election. Non-credible political party primaries. Political parties are the backdrop of political aspiration and participation in democracies like Nigeria's. It is expected that political parties will present the best opportunity for the free, fair, credible, and participatory election to provide the platform for presenting credible conduct for election. Unfortunately, the party primaries in Edo failed to represent these democratic ideals and aspirations. To put it very mildly, the party primaries of the political parties in Edo were just merely a selection of candidates by party big wings. Regrettably, when all the political parties comprise their choices, it means that the electorate will not have any better choices but to choose from the wrong people who emerge through compromise processes. So this is one of the major threats to democratic choice in Nigeria. Whether in Edo State, whether at the national level, political parties are completely hijacked by some powerful people, some of them with dirty money, some of them simply because they are governors, or even the president, who dictate the affairs of the political parties. Transition Monitoring Group, TMG, is not only interested in observing election, but also interested in seeing how elections translate to good governance. Hence, we have been monitoring the pre-election situation in Edo State. This press conference is coming up the back of the very disturbing and worrisome occurrences in Edo State, as noted from the TMG pre-election environment situation observation ahead of the September 2024 election. These occurrences did not only portend danger for the election, but also leaves a big question mark on the ability of political parties in Nigeria to conduct its affairs democratically, responsibly. The Transition Monitoring Group finds it necessary to call on the attention of the public and the government, especially the critical stakeholders, on some of the issues and call for concerted effort to address these obvious challenges ahead of the election. Non-credible political party primaries. Political parties are the backdrop of political aspiration and participation in democracies like Nigeria's. It is expected that political parties will present the best opportunity for the free, fair, credible, and participatory election to provide the platform for presenting credible conduct for election. Unfortunately, the party primaries in Edo failed to represent these democratic ideals and aspirations. To put it very mildly, the party primaries of the political parties in Edo were just merely a selection of candidates by party.
The chairman, who was satisfied with what he met on ground, had in his entourage some INEC national commissioners and top management staff. The entourage visited Ego local government area where the electoral officer, Mr. Boma Bamson, conducted them round the office complex and showed them the non-sensitive materials ready for the election day deployment and utilization. Anambra State government, through the State Ministry of Women's Affairs and Social Welfare, has ordered a probe into the case of the alleged murder of one Mrs. Ogechukwu Okafor, who was allegedly killed by her husband, Mr. Elijah. ATN gathered that the incident happened on August 13, 2024, but was reported to the ministry by the deceased family, following suspicious moves from the husband. This was disclosed in the press statement issued on Wednesday by the media aide to the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Chidinma Ikeanyanwu. According to Ikeanyanwu, the culprit, who is said to be a pastor, committed the alleged incident in Nimo community in Njikoka local government area of the state. Seeking for justice at the office of the Commissioner for Women Affairs, the uncle of the deceased, Mr. Honora, noted that they discovered that the daughter did not fall as claimed by the husband, but was rather killed with a knife, stabbed on her neck and chest by Elijah. Responding to the developments, the Commissioner Ife Obinabo called on all stakeholders, women groups, human rights activists and social media users to support the state government in ensuring that the deceased gets justice. Obinabo vows that the state government will probe the incident while urging everyone to lend their voice on the matter. Unspecified number of persons are currently feared dead as a speeding vehicle on Wednesday lost control and rammed into Oye Agu Market in Abagana, Njikoka local government area of Anambra State. Details of the crash are still not available, but sources said wares were damaged and many people may have also lost their lives. A video of the incident, which is currently on social media, showed the crushed Sienna vehicle and some of the traders who were believed to have been crushed to death. The market usually has traders selling food items by the roadside. The trending video also shows damaged tomatoes and other food items. President General of Abagana Community Engineer Ben Okungu confirmed the incident, saying at least 3 people lost their lives. He said the crash was because of loss of control by the driver. Spokesperson for the Federal Road Safety Corps, Anambra State Command, Margaret Onabe, said she was not aware of the incident. Leadership of the People's Democratic Party in Imo State has inaugurated a 13-member committee to reconcile all members of the party under one umbrella. The move was initiated by the new leadership of the party, led by Austin Nwachukwu, who maintained that the aim of setting up the committee is to have a united, all-inclusive and formidable party in the state. Inaugurating the members of the committee at its state secretariat in Owerri, Nwachukwu said that Imo PDP under his watch has a mandate to ensure that the party remains the only hope and best alternative that will enthrone good governance in the state by bringing it back to the people. The state chairman of the party urged the Reconciliation Committee to ensure that every aggrieved member of the party is pacified and reintroduced into the mainstream, as he equally tasked them with winning more people into the PDP fold. The chairman of the committee, Ben Duru, in his acceptance speech assured the party leadership that his committee will deliver on the mandate given to them. He said that Imo PDP is a big and indivisible platform endeared to the people of the state, noting that in such a large family as a PDP, members are bound to disagree over certain issues, but will, after everything, remain committed to the family. Reactions have continued to trail following the sudden increase in the sales and consumption of dead animals and livestock in the country. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Society Watch, a development advocate, Isaac Boti, frowned at vendors, including poultry owners, who sell dead and unhealthy animals for consumption. Elucidating further, Mr. Boti maintained that the consumption of critically infected animals can affect human health with detrimental disease and other ailments.
Young animals that died under mysterious circumstances. The concern that most of the zoonotic diseases that affect animals, maybe birds, the likes, have capacity to create severe health crisis or danger on humans who consume such animals. So it is totally wrong.
This is coming as Enugu state government wants butchers and poultry farmers to stop selling animals and chickens that die under mysterious circumstances. The warning issued by the Commissioner of Health and Agriculture follows and public complaints about meat and animals with diseases. 19-year-old woman Fatimo Agboke has been accused of fatally stabbing her neighbor's son, Farul Aziz, during a confrontation in the Ijegun area of Lagos State. ATN learned that the incident occurred around 9:20 p.m. at September 9, 2024. The State Police Public Relations Officer Benjamin Hundeyin confirmed these to newsmen on Wednesday. Hundeyin stated that the 19-year-old suspect reportedly got into a fight with a 20-year-old victim, during which she allegedly grabbed a broken bottle and stabbed the victim in the neck, resulting in Aziz's death. Attempts to rush the deceased to the hospital for medical attention were in vain, as he tragically passed away on the way. Hundeyin stated that the suspect had been arrested and detained, adding that an investigation was underway to uncover the incident's circumstances. Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria in Kogi State has asked Governor Usman Ododo to recruit health workers into the various hospital and primary health care centers in the state, decrying the acute shortage of manpower in the health sector. The union's chairman, Gabriel Amari, made the call at its 8th quadrennial state delegates conference, noting the shortage of manpower across the 21 local governments of the state. Amari itemized some of the demands of the medical workers in the state, saying the Kogi state government should harmonize the health workers' salaries, as there are lots of disparity in the salaries of the state health workers. Amari, who also lamented on the present challenges medical workers are facing in the country. In solidarity with his colleagues, the Trade Union Congress, TUC, chairman in Kogi State, Ahmed Tijani, maintained that association will continue to engage in dialogue to press home the demands of workers in the state. Governor of KB State, Nasir Idris, has commiserated with his Borno State counterpart, Babagana Zulum, and the people of the state over the devastating flood that caused unimaginable havoc in the state. In a sympathy message to Zulum, Idris described the incident that cut across Borno State as highly devastating and unprecedented in recent years. In the message, which was signed and made available by the Special Advisor on Communication and Strategy, Abdullahi Zuru, on Wednesday, he consoled the governor to remain faithful and consider it an unavoidable act of God. The governor added that although they in KB have experienced similar unfortunate incidents, that they share their grief and they are deeply pained by the natural disaster. The governor also recommended the constitution of a high-powered committee of experts by the governments of the states prone to flood that will collaborate with relevant federal government agencies and come up with lasting solutions to the annual disaster. Benue State Emergency Management Agency has raised concern over cases of snake bites in the internally displaced persons IDPs camps, lamenting that the agency recently recorded 16 cases in the camps within a space of 2 weeks. Executive Secretary of Agency Sir James Lopu, who expressed the worry on Wednesday while flagging off the distribution of relief materials to 14 IDP camps in the state, explained that the cases were recorded in Daudu 1 and 2 camps in Guma local government area and Ichwa camp in Makodi local government area. He lamented the burden the agency bears providing health support for the IDPs, particularly the cases of snake bites, and appealed for support from partners. He said in recent months, Benue Sema has faced the tragic challenge of snake bites among the IDP populations. The Executive Secretary also disclosed the plans of the agency to commence IDP farms in the state to enable the persons of concern to engage in farming activities to support themselves, adding that they have successfully treated over 16 cases across various camps thanks to the swift action of our health teams and the support from our partners, he said. He commended Governor Hyacinth Alia for donating a tractor to ensure the success of the project. According to him, the farm projects that would be located in Kwande, Logo, and West local government areas are not just about food production. They represent hope, empowerment, and self-reliance for our displaced communities. Nigerian Immigration Service has unveiled its plan to establish 3 additional e-borders in Jigawa State. NIS Assistant Controller General Haladu Usman disclosed these during a courtesy visit to Governor Umar Namadi. He noted that the proposed e-border stations will be located in Kumsa, Dangwanki, and Galadi, saying that the aim is to monitor and control the movement of criminal elements and smuggling across the borders. He commended the state government for its support of the service in the discharge of its responsibilities. Governor Namadi, on his part, assured his administration to continue supporting in the discharge of its responsibilities. He said the e-border project is an innovative solution to modern security challenges. Flood disaster has severed the road connecting Saminaka town to 5 agrarian communities, including Majire in Lere local government area of Kaduna State. The collapse of a bridge on the outskirts of Saminaka has isolated these communities from the local government headquarters. Governor Uba Sani has assured that his administration will take immediate action to address the plight of the affected communities. Speaking through his Chief of Staff, Malam Liman Sani Kila, who led the Flood Impact Assessment Committee to Lere local government area, the governor emphasized his commitment to developing the rural economy. Malam Sani Kila promised that in addition to reconstructing the damaged road and bridge, relief materials will be provided to the affected communities. Lere local government Chairman Honorable Matthew Bulus Gambo expressed gratitude to Governor Uba Sani for setting up a high-powered committee to address the issue. He noted that the collapse of the bridge has crippled economic activities in the affected areas, emphasizing the importance of prompt action. The committee also visited other flood-affected locations with the local government, including Wawan Rafi village, where another bridge collapsed, as well as Nasarawa and Ungwanshuru areas of Saminaka Township. Zamfara State Chapter of the All Progressive Congress has reacted to allegations by the People's Democratic Party that Minister of State Defense Bello Muhammad Matawale coerced the state government to negotiate with bandits. In a statement issued by the State Publicity Secretary Malam Yusuf Idris Gusau, the APC described the allegation as baseless. The statement noted that the Zamfara State PDP-led government under Governor Dauda Lawal has continued to blame the immediate past APC government for its inability to meet campaign promises made to the people over 1 year into the administration. The statement said the Dauda campaign train had used insecurity against Matawale's leadership, promising to eliminate banditry and other security challenges facing the state within its first month in office. But having failed, it has again returned against the APC, saying it is the reason why the PDP cannot defeat the bandits. The statement said a memo that allegedly emanated from the state government and signed by the secretary to the state government SSG, Abubakar Nakwada, requesting Governor Lawal's approval to settle some identified bandits and journalists costing over 1 billion naira, which went viral. Recently was pitched against the APC, in which even if such documents came from outside the government. The statement further stated that the government should desist from politicizing the security issues as he did during the campaign period, noting that now is the time for action, not propaganda or apportioning blames just to cover his failure when the innocent electorates remain helpless. Academic Staff Union of Universities, Gombe State University, has declared an indefinite strike following the failure of the state government to meet the demands. The demands itemized by the union include non-implementation of the 2021 Memorandum of Action, increased funding of the university, non-payment of accumulated earned academic allowances, institutionalization of training for sponsorship of academic staff for higher degrees, and many others. Addressing journalists on Wednesday shortly after the Congress meeting, the branch chairman, Dr. Suleiman Jauro, said the government gave no serious attention to its efforts. Jauro stated that the members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Gombe State University branch, have endured debilitating working conditions in the university for too long as a result of issues of inadequate funding, non-implementation of the content of the 2021 Memorandum of Understanding, and refusal to implement current salaries table for academics in Nigerian universities. Jauro stated that the union has sought for amicable resolution of the issues by requesting the intervention of eminent personalities in the state with no tangible outcome. The refusal of the government to honor those interventions left the union with no option but the resolution to embark on a total, comprehensive and indefinite strike action to press home its demands. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back after this short break. Please stay with us.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has commiserated with the government and people of Borno and Bauchi State over floods that Borno and Bauchi State governments and the federal government in providing necessary assistance to alleviate the suffering of the affected people. Days ago, many residents were sacked from their residences following the catastrophic impact of flood which ravaged various areas of Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State. The flooding, which commenced a week ago, reached its most critical point during the early hours of Tuesday. In Bauchi State, the government has confirmed a total death toll of 24, with many homes destroyed and over 300 farmlands swept away, leaving residents homeless. National Senior Secondary Education Commission on Wednesday revealed that a total of 50 selected senior secondary schools will undergo infrastructural upgrades nationwide as part of its mandate as an intervention agency. The executive secretary of the commission, Dr. Iyela Ajayi, made this known during the groundbreaking ceremony of one of the 50 selected secondary schools in Kotun Karfe. Kogi State speaking during the ceremony, Iyela noted that a needs assessment was conducted across the various selected schools. He further noted that the rehabilitation of the schools followed the mandates given by the President Bola Tinubu. Iyela noted that the upgrade of the 50 schools in the first phase will cost 47.5 billion naira. ATN learned that a needs assessment is a systematic process for determining and addressing needs or gaps between current conditions and desired conditions or wants. ATN reports that NSSEC was established in 2021 under the administration of the former President Muhammadu Buhari, with its mandates covering senior secondary schools across the country. Head of the Civil Defense of the Federation, Civil Service of the Federation, D.D. Wilson Jack, has announced the establishment of war rooms to serve as critical hubs for managing and monitoring the implementation of the Federal Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025, which, according to her, will aid civil service reforms. Wilson Jack said the war rooms will be dedicated to addressing each of the 6 pillars and crucial enablers of the reform plan, intended to tackle the specific challenges associated with each pillar. She disclosed these at the recently concluded retreat with federal permanent secretaries in Zuba, Niger State, according to a statement released by Eno Olotu, Director of Press of the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, on Wednesday. Wilson Jack explained that the war rooms, which will be led by permanent secretaries, will involve all key stakeholders to ensure swift and coordinated action. She added that the goal is to win these wars and bring the reforms to a successful conclusion for the benefits of both the Federal Civil Service and the Nigerian public. The Permanent Secretary, Career Management Office of the OHCSF, Fatima Mahmoud, in her welcome remarks, described the retreat as a collective commitment to transforming the Nigerian public service into one defined by efficiency, innovation, and dedication to service delivery. Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court in Abuja on Wednesday granted 10 #EndBadGovernance protesters who were arrested and detained for treason, among others, to a bail in the sum of 10 million naira each and surety in like sum. Justice Emeka Nwite admitted them to bail while delivering a ruling on the bail applications. Among others, the protesters are to produce one surety, each in the same amount, while the sureties must be residents in Abuja. Justice Nwite, while rejecting the objections of the Inspector General of Police against the bail request, ordered the defendants not to participate in any public rally throughout their trial. Pending the perfection of their respective bail conditions, the judge ordered that they be remanded in prison custody. Meanwhile, September 27 has been fixed for the commencement of their trial. The accused persons were said to have committed a treasonable offense during their one-week nationwide protest when they allegedly levied war against Nigeria. The offenses were said to be contrary to sections 96, 410, and 413 of the Penal Code. The Inspector General of Police, IGP, who brought the charges against them, alleged that the accused persons broke into the Abacha Army barracks and openly called on the military to take over the constitutional government of President Tinubu. Former National Treasurer of the Labour Party, Oluchi Opara, insisted that the embattled National Chairman of the party, Julius Abure, misappropriated 3.5 billion naira of the party's funds. She was reacting to statements by Abure when he said on Monday that he did not handle campaign funds. He also said that the monies of the campaign were handled by designated officials of the Obedient family. Abure said the funding of the election was done by Peter Obi himself as per the donations. The party was not involved in the donations. Donations to the campaign were channeled to accounts which have Aisha Yusufu and Pastor Itua Igodalo as signatories. They were equally responsible for the payment of polling unit agents. But in her reaction, former National Treasurer of the Labour Party, Oluchi Opara, has alleged that the factional chairman of the party, Julius Abure, forged the party's late chairman's signature and transferred money to his wife, siblings, staff, and his personal company's accounts. According to her, Labour Party came into relevance through the party's 2023 presidential candidate, Peter Obi. She added that Abure cannot point fingers at Obi as he was the one who revived the party and the money the party came to have. And now let's take a look at the business news. Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development has announced its commitment to addressing the issue of unregistered and untitled land in Nigeria, which currently accounts for 90% of the nation's land mass. The Director of Information and Public Relations, Salisu Haiba, disclosed these in a statement on Wednesday. The ministry, in partnership with the World Bank Group, aims to unlock over $300 billion in debt capital tied to untitled land by launching a national land registration and titling program. This initiative was disclosed following a courtesy visit by the World Bank delegation led by Vice President of Infrastructure, Guangzhou Chen, to the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, on Wednesday. Dangiwa explains that this system will be accessible to all stakeholders and will be key in boosting states' revenue through ground rent, certificates of occupancy, and taxes. The program is expected to increase the formalization of land transactions. He further added that the ministry, in collaboration with World Bank and state governments, plans to register and title all land parcels within 5 years and increase the rate of titled land from less than 10% to over 50% in the next decade. The World Bank's Vice President of Infrastructure, Guangzhou Chen, expressed the bank's support for the initiative, emphasizing the importance of sustainable financing mechanisms and urban resilience in Nigeria. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, has said Nigeria's first ever foreign currency domestic bond has secured $900 million in subscriptions. While discussing the results of the historic bond issuance, Edun noted that the oversubscription reflects investor confidence in Nigeria's economic stability and potential for growth. The bond attracted a wide range of investors, including Nigerians, both locally and abroad, as well as institutional investors. The proceeds from the bond will be allocated to critical economic sectors as approved by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The $500 million domestic federal government US dollar bond with a 5-year maturity and a 9.75% coupon is the first tranche of a $2 billion bond program registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. The structure of the bond allows the government to absorb oversubscription up to the full $2 billion program limit. The Director General of the Debt Management Office, Patience Oniha, described the bond's success as a pivotal moment for Nigeria's economic development. She noted that the $900 million raised from diverse investors underscores the growing sophistication of Nigeria's domestic fixed income market. Up next is international tidbits. Iranian Foreign Minister Sayed Arakchi and his Mexican counterpart Alicia Bacena have expressed their country's support for a ceasefire in Gaza. In a phone call, the two sides called for the continuation of bilateral political talks and consultations. This was confirmed in a statement released by the Iranian Foreign Ministry. Bacena said her country supports the achievement of a truce in Gaza and maintains that the violence and bloodshed in the Palestinian coastal enclave should end as soon as possible. The Iranian Foreign Minister, for his part, condemned the continuation of Israeli crimes against Palestinians and at the regional level, highlighting the necessity to immediately stop them. Arakchi added that Iran would back any ceasefire agreement approved by the Palestinian people and resistant groups. Israel has been launching a large-scale offensive against Hamas in the Gaza Strip to retaliate against a Hamas rampage through the southern Israeli border on October 7, 2023. The Palestinian death toll from the ongoing Israeli attacks on the Gaza Strip has reached 41,020, Gaza-based health authorities said on Tuesday. Here now is ATN Sports News. Former Super Eagles goalkeeper Ida Peterside says that Augustine Iguevon has confirmed to him that he has not quit as the coach of the senior men's national team. Following Nigeria's 0-0 draw with Rwanda in the African Cup of Nations qualifier on Tuesday, Rumors emerged later in the night that Igwe Von, who was recently appointed to take charge of the team by the Nigerian Football Federation after deal with German coach Bruno Labbadia fell through, has quit the job. Super Falcons defender Michel Alozie has signed a new 2-year contract with the NWSL club Houston Dash. The new contracts will commence on January 1, 2025. The contract includes a mutual option for the 2027 NWSL regular season. Super Falcons defender Michel Alozie has signed a new 2-year contract with NWSL club. Tarilaye Nwankwe has been appointed the chairman of Nigerian Premier Football League side, Bayelsa United. Nwankwe took the place of Ebiki Timitimi. He was a former player and captain of the Prosperity Boys. The new Supremo played for Bayelsa United between 2000 to 2013. Nwankwe is also a one-time chairman of Bayelsa Queens. Bayelsa United lost 3-0 to Sunshine Stars in their opening match of the season. They will take on Cattle Pillars next in the league. And now we move on to entertainment news. Global megastar broke her silence on the current state of U.S. politics on Tuesday, voicing support for Harris over Donald Trump for the White House and calling the Democratic candidate a steady-handed, gifted leader. Swift wrote in her social media handle that she will be casting her votes for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election because she fights for the rights and causes she believes need a warrior to champion them. Swift, among the biggest names on the planet, posted on Instagram. She did so in the minutes following a televised presidential debate that saw the candidates face off for the first time, which the singer said they tuned into. She signed off her Instagram post by dubbing herself a childless cat lady, a swipe at a much-mocked sentiment expressed by Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance, which he had wielded in a bid to insult Democratic women. The artist voiced special support for Harris's choice of running mate. Tim Walz praising the Minnesota governor for standing up for LGBTQ+ rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. NSCDC arrests 7 oil vandals, floods ravage Bayelsa communities. Federal government's bond